Okay, then first of all I'm going to start talking through this equation that's been done wrong here. You can see the person didn't like this by doing question marks. This is perfect. If you don't understand questions in class, put question marks next to them so I can go through them in these sort of sessions now. Okay, so it's an equation which means get x on its own, but we're with an issue. We've got x's on each side. So if we've got x's on each side, we need to look for the smallest x. So our step one, look for smallest x. So I'll try and spell look correctly. Look for smallest x. So you need to ask yourself, what is smaller? Is 2x smaller or is minus 3 smaller? And that's where this question is very, very easy to go wrong. It's a very hard question because of this negative here. If you think about it on a number line, if I drew one by here, we've got 2 there, got 0 there, and then we've got minus 3 here. Now, the lower down the number line, the smaller you are. The bigger you are, the higher up a number line you are. Okay? So, the smallest x is actually this minus 3x here. So what should have been done is we should have added 3x to each side. That would have then given a new line of 2x add 3x is 5x. Minus 23, that minus 23 would still be there, that's absolutely fine. And then that plus 3 here would have cancelled out that minus 3 there, leaving just 12. So then from here, I'm just going to write it by the side so I've got a little bit more room. 5x minus 23 would equal 12. I would now put my line down and I'd start trying to get x on its own. I would now add 23 to each side to get 5x equals 35, and then finally I divide by whatever is in front of the x, which is 5, but I need to do that to both sides, so divide both sides by 5, we get x is equal to 7. There's a question below. Please can you pause the video now and attempt this question, and your teacher will tell you if it is correct. Okay, then mistake number 2. Very, very, very good question, very high level question done here, but the most common misconception that I see when marking these has been done. We've got simultaneous equations here, and they're simultaneous because there's 2 equations happening at the same time, and we have x's and y's in each. Now this person clearly understands that you need to get either the x's the same or the y's the same, and by timesing by 3 and 5, they are the opposite way round of these coefficients in front of the x's. That means you will get the x coefficients the same. So everything must be times by 3, and it has been, and everything here must be times by 5, and it has been. Then this person has done 4 take away 3, so this one take away this one because this has got the bigger y. Perfect, again, absolutely perfect. And then they've even got 26y is equal to 78 and answered that correctly, which is brilliant. That is where some people will stop, and this is where this person stopped, to only get 2 out of the 4 marks. To get your next mark, you must do this bit here. You must sub in y equals 3 into one of the 2 original equations. If it's got a minus sign, skip the minus sign, don't use the minus sign, it will make it really, really hard. If it's got really big numbers, try not to use that one, so choosing 1 is better as they're smaller numbers, so it should be slightly easier. Okay, and from there, the rest of the work is correctly done. However, they forgot to do this in the exam, which is why they only got 2 out of 4. Okay, question below, please pause the video and attempt that question. Again, your teacher will tell you if you're correct at the end. And final question I'm going through. Final question is on trigonometry. This question has been done superbly to begin with. The right angle triangle is there. That is the angle we wanted. Sometimes you'll see a theta in there. That would mean that this one is the opposite, so that's fine. That opposite the right angle points at the hypotenuse, so this is fine, and by process of elimination, that must be the adjacent. Because we know the opposite and the adjacent, you should go through SOHCAHTOA and underline O and A, so O and A are underlined there, and then correctly identified is tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. That's what this TOA helps you remember. Because you've got both those underlined, you use T. T stands for tan theta, tan of angle, opposite divided by adjacent, so perfect there, M1 there. Next, they've written that bit there. Now, M1 there is probably I just about agree with that, but I'd really like to see it written as tan theta equals 13.2 over 18.7. It's called substituting into that formula there. So really, We should be seeing that turning into that. Okay. Now you can see here that this person's then got confused what to do next, and that's entirely understandable because we're not used to having both sides being given. Okay, but what you should do if you have got both sides given is you should be trying to get theta on its own, this thing on its own, and to get rid of the tan, you need to do tan to the -1. So you press shift and tan on your calculator. So you should get theta is equal to tan to the -1 is equal to 13.2 over 18.7, and that will go into a calculator, which I'll do now. And when I do that, I get the answer to 1 decimal place, theta equals 35.2 degrees. Okay, but I should say 1 decimal place. Okay, and question for you to attempt now. Please pause this video and attempt this question. Again, your teacher will tell you if you're right at the end.